Hey y'all, welcome back to our third video in this holiday series. And if you've watched the first two videos already, great. If you haven't, you might want to go back and check those out. I go over some fact versus fiction. I give you some marketing ideas that you can really use to end 2024 on a high note. This video is about looking forward. And before we look forward, I know it's gonna sound cliche, you gotta look backwards. There's a couple things I like to do with my agents in the year that really propels them into the next year. And again, this is not to dwell on what didn't work, but you kinda gotta learn from it. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down every single deal that you've done and every single buyer or seller that you actually didn't buy with or sell with. Maybe they canceled the contract, maybe the listing didn't sell. And I want you to go through that. And I'd love for you to reflect on that and remember like what went well, what didn't go well. And the fun part is it's not that fresh. So that way you're not gonna get hung up on some drama. You're really gonna see this from a 30,000 foot view and really be able to dig in and say, hey, you know what? That one didn't work because I did this, or that one didn't work because of this. There's some external circumstances that you can't control, but there's also gonna be some ones in there, if you're really looking for them, that you can. Also, I want you to figure out where your source of your business came from. That's always the easiest. So many times in real estate, we wanna set our goals, but we set them on things that maybe we're not good at or doesn't bring us business. So the easiest thing to do is to see where our business came from. Maybe you've got a really strong referral network with a certain group of people, maybe your CrossFit team, or maybe it's a bar you go to. Well, you might want to incorporate that into your business plan next year because that's where you're getting your business from. And there might be things you want to try next year to get business from, and that's great too, but you may not want to put 100% effort into it because you would be neglecting the other things. So don't dwell on the past, but really do a reflection here to make sure that your goals for next year are in alignment with how you got your business this year. All right, y'all, so I don't know about y'all, but I did not go to business school. So I've had to learn a lot of new things over my last 2 decades in real estate to make sure that my goals that I'm setting are realistic and attainable. So one mistake that a lot of agents make when they're doing goal setting for next year is they set their goal too high. And it's not because you can't attain it, it's just you're not there yet. Usually what they say in business books is to set your goal about 20% higher than it was this year. It's a stretch, but it's attainable. You could do a little bit higher, but just know that you might be working against yourself and putting yourself in a situation that you may not attain. Now, with that being said, if you did 1 deal this year, I'm sure you can do 2 deals next year. So take that with a grain of salt. So when it comes to goal planning, I like to use a SMART model, and that's the specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and timely. So what I mean by that is I like to look at the year as a whole, and I like to break those 12 months down into 18 parts. I know this sounds a little crazy, but our biggest months are the middle 6 months of the year. That's our selling season. So I'm not gonna try and do a 1/12 of our business in the first month. That typically doesn't happen. So I'll do 1 part in each January, February, March for goal setting, and 1 part in December, November, and October. The other parts, they're gonna be twice as many. So if I'm trying to do 3 deals in January, I wanna do 6 deals in June because the market's healthier, the market's happier, I've got more opportunities to make clients buy and sell. Now, with that being said, you've got to look at these goals and really break them down. Your goal shouldn't just be, I want to sell more houses. If you do that, that's a good goal, but how do you make that attainable? How is that relevant and what timeline are you on? I want to break that thing down to the microcosm. I want to break that down on how you're going to get more clients. And remember, if you reflect back, I want to get 10 clients from my referral network. Perfect. And then you can take your goal and say, each month, what am I going to do to get in front of my referral network to remind them I'm in real estate? If you do that, now you have actionable steps each month that you can check off, yes, I did, or no, I didn't. But if you just leave it very vague, like I want to sell more houses. Well, if it gets to June and you haven't sold more houses, how are you going to sell more houses? Do you feel like you're winning? Do you feel like you're failing? I don't know about y'all, but if I feel like I'm failing, typically doesn't drive me to do more business. It makes me pissed off. So I want to set you up so that way you have achievable and attainable goals that you know if you're winning or if you're losing, and then how you can change it to get back in the green. So once you have your goals set and you know what you want to do by when, the next part is your marketing. Now, I believe marketing needs to be active, meaning you need to do something to put it out there. Passive marketing, right? Emails, handwritten notes, stuff like that. Those are great for branding. I don't consider those marketing. Marketing is client events, going to networking events. If you do open houses, that could be part of it. You're trying to meet new people. So now that you've got your goal, let's use your referral network, your sphere of influence. Now, what is your marketing plan to stay in front of them? So here at The Art of Real Estate, what I like to do is we do quarterly events. We do events with our agents in February, in May, in July, and October. And we have maybe another one in the end of the year. We do this because now we have a reason to stay in front of them, and we know that each month I have to invite somebody to the event, or I have to show up to the event, or I have to thank them for coming to the event. So I have a marketing plan that is active, and it's not just sending emails or calendar invites, it's picking up the phone, asking how they're doing, inviting them to your event, and having that personal connection. That is one way that you can take a sphere of influence deal and turn it into your marketing plan for next year. So let's go on the fourth step and let's talk about consistency. So consistency, as you know, is key. If you call all your people in January because you got nothing else to do and you seem bored, that's great. But if you don't talk to them again until next December, you've really lost out on some opportunities. But I hear you. You don't want to call people and bug them. What are you going to talk to them about? I get it. But I think you can come up with an idea or a rhythm that really lets you work your sphere really, really well. One easy way, and it's not how I do it, but I do think it's a good idea, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. So if you started in the first week of January with your clients with the last name of A and just contact them that week, done. And you go through every letter of the alphabet, and then midpoint of the year, you're done. And you start over. So now you're connecting with everybody in your database twice a year and asking them how they're doing, what's up, at the beginning of the year and the middle part of the year, which are two prime times. Then you mix in, sending birthday cards, anniversary cards, all of the other stuff. You've got a really big marketing plan that you may not think you already have, but you actually have it right there. One of the best things I like to do is I like to list it out. I print out an entire calendar. I look at the holidays, I plan out my events, and then I say, hey, I need to contact these people this time. And now you know when you wake up Monday mornings, here's what I have to do this week on top of showing houses, writing offers, and everything else. But the marketing is the most important. If you don't market and continue to bring in new business, at some point you're going to close the business you have and not have any business. So you always got to make time for this marketing, and that's where the consistency comes in. So once you have the consistency figured out, then I would encourage you on when you have the events or the stuff you're trying to do, how you can bring in local vendors and businesses that really make it a slam dunk. Because not only are you going to invite your clients to come to a happy hour at a bar, but also go to a bar that you know the owners, or that you can get to know the owners. Maybe it's not corporatized, maybe it's more of a local mom and pop. And now you can start building that business relationship with business people, which is gonna add to your database. And here's the biggest one. The last one I'll leave you with is improving yourself. Now, that can be a little cliche, but there needs to be time where you focus on yourself or you block out time that you can do your everyday chores, right? We know we work weekends, we know we work nights. Sometimes we gotta go to the grocery store at Tuesday mid-afternoon just to get bread and milk for the kids. We get it. But also, what are you doing for yourself? What do you do to pamper yourself? Do you like to play sports? Do you like to exercise? What do you like to do that really recharges your body? Because we all know in this business, it's like a marathon that we're constantly running. And if we don't pour back into ourselves, we can run dry and we're not gonna be good for anybody. What are you doing to pour back into your business? Are you going to conferences? Are you planning out online trainings? What are you doing to take your business to the next level? So as you're planning for next year, probably right about now, start Googling what's out there. Maybe it's an Inman Connect. Maybe you're gonna go to New York in January and learn more. Maybe you're gonna go to NAR's conferences in May and November. Whatever it is, make sure you're investing back in your business, because if you do that, you're gonna do more deals for your clients and do them better. Y'all, 2025 is gonna be your year to thrive. Make sure that you reflect on your past business, make sure you're planning for next year, and that you have your goals, your marketing, and your action items set, so that way you can get 2025 off to a great start. So as we end this series, I appreciate you watching these. Hopefully you took something from it. I would love to hear from y'all what you do during the holiday season that makes you stand out. Drop those in the comments below or DM me so I can put this in the next videos we do. And as always, do me a favor. As you know, this world's all about likes and subscribes. Hit that subscribe button, that little bell, share this with people in your office. Maybe it helps them have a good 2025 too. And if nothing else, I hope you have a fantastic Thanksgiving. And in December, we're gonna have some awesome content all about the holidays.